International Women's Day is just around the corner.
Hey Timothy, let me do this episode lah.
Take it away, Karani.
Okay. As I was saying, International Women's Day is just around the corner. To commemorate this day, I am interested in checking out how workplaces have become more inclusive and accommodating for women, especially mothers, in the workforce. Hi Elizabeth, I really love this concept of a family-friendly space.
Thank you.
I'm curious, what prompted you and your co-founder Elaine to establish Treehouse?
So my co-founder Elaine and myself, we really wanted a space like Treehouse to exist. Treehouse actually means the third space. And you know, in raising children, they say it takes a village to raise a child. And we wanted this modern village to be created for like-minded parents to come together, work and raise their children in the same environment, same space. And to integrate, work and family. So we created this space because it doesn't exist in Singapore and we really felt that it should be.
As the first of its kind, I'm sure that there's a lot of trial and errors in setting up the space. So what are some of your biggest challenges thus far?
I think the biggest challenge thus far, I would say, were the pandemic years, especially when we started this space in Funan. Well, it was very, very unexpected that the pandemic hit and everybody had to start navigating what it's like to live with the virus. People were rethinking their children's education, whether it was even safe. The health aspects were also something that was weighing on their minds. So that was very challenging, and people started to also work at home and they didn't need to come out of their homes. That was really tough. Yeah, this is, I would say, by far the hardest part of starting Treehouse that came.
But I'm sure that there are a lot of forward-thinking companies that are considering a membership at Treehouse, right? It's especially considering that talent attraction is very, very important for them, and a lot of these talents are working parents.
Yeah.
So why should they consider something like Treehouse?
So we tell corporates, we tell SMEs, we tell companies, we tell founders, hey, Treehouse is the perfect solution for you. You don't have to go lease a space, you don't have to build your own nursing room, you don't have to create your own crash nursery or children-friendly facilities, and yet you can attract and retain talent, especially if they've become parents and they're starting families. Because if you take out a membership here, you get everything, and the intrinsic benefit is really that they get to network with a like-minded group of parents in the same phase as them. And that's great for well-being, right, for their employees. So this is a perfect solution for companies who need to retain their talents and attract people to join them. Yeah.
What about from the parents' point of view? I'm sure that there are more benefits that they can look forward to if they consider a membership.
A lot of my parents tell me that this is an amazing space. Why? Because, if you go to a typical preschool, you drop off your child, you only see them when you pick them up. But here, this is an open concept. Parents are welcome in the space. We believe in homeschool partnership. We believe in continuity of care from home to school and school to home. And this space allows them to, in between meetings, say hi to their children, wave hello, wave goodbye. When they're at the cafe, the children are walking out, taking a walk at the outdoor garden, take them out for meals, pop in, say hi. Sometimes even if you want to read a story to your child, so many things you can do for a parent who are raising preschooling children. And that is such a great benefit because the child has that sensing that my parent is so present for me, and the parent knows that they will never miss a single milestone of their child's life.
So 2023 is going to be another challenging year for businesses, and amid this landscape, what is your outlook for Treehouse?
So definitely, I think there's a lot of change going around us and there's a lot of economic uncertainty. But here at Treehouse, we are very optimistic. We really believe that this is the year of growth and a year of possibilities for us. We've met people from all over the world, our members, friends and family. They are saying, you need to come to my city because we want a space like Treehouse to exist here as well. We are parents and we are raising children and we want to be close to our children. So, this is going to be a year where Treehouse is looking at being at every major city of the world, and hopefully this will materialize for us.
We are now at JLL to explore how the planning and design of an office has evolved to create a more inclusive working environment for individuals and families. Let's speak with Grit Hannock, who is the chair of a support and networking group for women in account management at JLL. Thank you, Grit, for taking the time to share your expertise with us today. How has JLL stepped up to showcase and practice inclusive spaces for women in the workplace?
I would like to answer that question two ways. It's the physical space as well as the DE&I component. Starting with the physical space, for example, nursing rooms. Each office of JLL has a nursing room, which is perfectly curated and equipped for nursing matters. Another example are the work settings. For me, as a soon-to-be mom, I would like to really move around the office. I want to sit in an ergonomic chair. I want to sit in a cushioned seat. I want to stand at the desk all throughout the day. And JLL gives me that flexibility to do so. Then we have here in PLQ our barista, for example. They offer decaf coffee. They offer almond milk and oat milk. Looking at it from a D&I perspective, we at JLL, we are close to 100,000 people in 80 countries. We are a people's business, so D&I is at the core of what we do. For example, Women Transforming Tech or Women in Account Management, which I just came off as a chair to lead that role, of 700 members across Asia Pacific. So these are just a few examples to showcase that it's the physical space that JLL provides, but then also the culture and the D&I component that merges it all together.
Why do you think it's important that corporate leaders pay close attention to the work environment, especially for women, mothers, and parents in general?
It's really coming down to two criteria. It is productivity as well as talent, and there specifically talent attraction as well as retention. We all know in tight labor markets like Singapore, where competition is tough, hiring new talent is a lot more costlier than retaining your employees. Now, how is that linked to productivity? I give you an example. One of our colleagues, he had to bring his 2 kids to work on a Friday because the school was closed. Now, he would have struggled finding a solution during that period and his productivity would have been lost. But he was confident enough, supported by JLL's culture, to actually bring his kids to work, set an example for his team as well. And we believe that life-changing events like becoming a parent is something that all leaders should pay attention to. Because at the end, you want your employees to be happy, and that means their productivity increases and they stay with you.
What are some of the key considerations or concerns that most corporate tenants come to you for advice on, and how does your team help to solve it?
There are different topics, but a major question remains how to bring employees back to work. In a recent study, we identified that 60% of workers, they want to decide where, how and when are they most productive. So one size doesn't really fit all. JLL recently launched a neuroscience study where we wanted to understand where workers are the most happiest, engaged as well as focused by measuring brainwaves. Two interesting findings are brains work better when we are together in the morning, and we focus better when we are together rather than being alone. That really reinforces the need for office and the work environment as such.
I'm sure you agree that workplace design has progressed significantly over the past few years, but I am interested in knowing how else you see it evolving or improving over the next few years.
We need to acknowledge that workplace design is at different stages for different companies. I think office design and work environment needs to go beyond its 4 walls. It really needs to be incorporated, including with landlords and communities. It could be amenities, playgrounds, for example. It could be breastfeeding support groups. At the end, we are competing against people's homes and comfort zones. So I believe these topics will evolve over the coming years.
That was a wonderful tour of 2 different workspaces. As a woman in the working world, I feel more empowered that such inclusive environments are getting more commonplace in our society. Of course, there are a lot of companies that still need a little bit of a nudge towards the direction. But hey, I'll take what I can get.
Happy International Women's Day to all, and thank you for watching another episode of Real Estate.
Real opinions.
Real statements.